But that's why that's why she's crying. She's very uncomfortable. Hi. Hi, Shanoa. Hi, Susan. How is everybody? Hello. Hi, Rose. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, You're just playing a very scary video game and you need a break. Holly, I don't know. Can I have my other glasses? Hi, Tony. Holly, we took today to a different hospital, and we now know what her problem actually is, and it breaks my heart because I didn't know that was going on, and I'm so glad I said, fuck this, I'm taking her to a hospital that has fucking psychiatry in it. And I had to come home and do some research because, I mean, the drug that they put her on is not new to me, but now I'm questioning that. She has what they call EPS, and she's I can't see this, but she has a condition. The medications that she's on is called a condition called EPS, and what that is it's she's so fucking uncomfortable, and she has no way to tell us. And I thank God that I took her to a different hospital. I swear, I thank God I did. Because now I know what her problem is, and I feel so bad because I didn't know, and the way she feels right now, and that's why she's always crying and crying and crying and not getting any better, and Ativan's not helping. They gave her a shot of Ativan, and it literally only lasted a half hour. But the EPS, it's a side effect from her medication. And so she's got tremors. Uh, so she's having like involuntary muscle spasms and tremors, and it's so uncomfortable. That's why she's always doing this and doing this and this and this. So she's like uncomfortable in her own skin. And if you talk to somebody that has had this before, um, they say they would rather be psychotic than deal with the symptoms of what this feels like. So now we know. And that's why she was doing so good. And like she was doing really, really good. And then all of a sudden just bam. And then they upped the meds. And then that didn't work or whatever. And upping the meds made it worse. And I thank God, like the other day, a doctor was like, "Oh yeah, take her up to this on the Depakote and add an afternoon dose." And when I went up just the one time, I says, "Holy fuck, no, that's made her worse." She was more agitated, and I called him and I said, "I refuse to do it. I refuse to give her any more." And I said, "It's making her worse." So basically, the poor child is uncomfortable in her own skin. She can't stop the movement. She can't stop what's going on. She's twitching and she's doing things that she can't help. And there's no way for her to communicate that to us. at all. And I'm just today she was crying all day and I said fuck this. I said I can't take it anymore. So I took her to the hospital and I took her to a different hospital. Normally we go over to Children's Hospital, but I said I'm not fucking taking her there. They're just gonna, say the same fucking shit. And I'm not, they're just gonna say she's agitated, squirt Versed up her nose, and fucking walk her out the door. I took her to Erie County Medical Center, which is ECMC, and they have psychiatrists there. Oh, thank you for the super chat. But they have psychiatrists there, and that's where we got the fucking answers. Because I have been calling everywhere possible to try to get her into a psychiatrist. I've been calling everywhere. Nobody will take her because she's nonverbal. Nobody will take her. So now that I know what's going on, they gave her Haldol. And in doing research, Haldol can be even fucking worse. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. So she needs a psychiatrist immediately. It's what she needs immediately because now we got to reverse. Now we can't just stop her meds. You can't just do that because then she's going to go through withdrawal, you know? So I have to continue giving her the meds that are doing this to her. So I'm like in a holy fuck mode right now and I don't know what to do. I like the fact that there's no psychiatrists that will touch her, but she needs a psychiatrist just blows my mind. It's like, what do you expect me to do? She has psychiatric issues that she needs to have addressed. The medication she's on is giving her this syndrome that's making her feel uncomfortable in her own skin. So I don't know. I'm like a ball of like, the only thing I can say is thank God I took her somewhere else today. I'm so glad I said I'm not taking her back to Children's Hospital. They can kiss my ass. And somebody finally said, and then this is the trip. Let me tell you the trip. The doctor didn't tell me that's what she had. That's fucking great, right? They sent it home on her discharge paperwork. So I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I'm looking, I'm like, they didn't tell me nothing about this, So I come home and I look it up and I'm like, this is her to a fucking T. To a T. And the reason why she's so agitated because she's so uncomfortable. So that's why we can't get her to stop crying. That's why the Ativan isn't working. That's why nothing works. So I'm just really, she has been crying and uncomfortable like for days, but today has been just nonstop. Absolutely nonstop. It has just been crying and crying and crying. Yoo-hoo! Yoo! There's Megan singing to you. Yoo-hoo! So now I know what's wrong with her, but then I feel so sad. I feel so guilty. Well, I know I'm not guilty. It's not my fault. But I'm like, like it's sick. It's just so messed up when you have somebody have a child that it takes so much to figure out what the hell is going on. And then you learn, and that's typical. Like the doctors will just keep upping the meds, and that's actually the worst thing that they can do. And that's what they were doing to Holly. They were just keep upping the meds, keep upping them. And that's making her so much worse. I'm just like, and again, I can't stop them. And, her doctor doesn't know what the hell's going on. She's like, "Oh, this is out of my scope." So I'm like, "Okay, I want to switch doctors. That's it. I've had enough." Because they're like, "Why is she still seeing a pediatrician?" I'm like, "I don't want to switch now. I mean, she's been with her through all of this, but her doctor admittedly says this is out of my expertise. So now that she has this condition, no one knows how to treat her. So I'm stuck giving her meds that makes her want to jump out of her own skin and can't tell us that's how she feels. Like, she can't tell us that, but that's how she feels. I gotta give her these damn meds, and I got no fucking psychiatrist. I got no help. They can't keep her. They can't admit her, so I basically she's home, and this poor little girl is just gonna have to keep crying and dealing with what she's dealing with until we get to the bottom of it. I swear to God, I just don't get it. How they could just be like, "Oh, here, just give her this," you know? But they prescribed her Haldol, and that's a very potent drug. I know Haldol. Like, when they said Haldol, I'm like, "What?" And then they had to do an EKG to make sure she can have the Haldol, because it can, cause you to go into AFib or VTAC, and I'm like, "Oh, that's fucking great." And I've already had to take her to the emergency room. Um, I've already had to take her there, because she was, like, not responding. So I'm like, I I don't know what to do. It's like, I don't get it. And they gave her a Seroquel at the hospital. They gave her Seroquel, which is Seroquel is like a Haldol, but it's not Haldol, but it's kind of in the same family. And that agitated the fuck out of her. So I'm like, sure, you want me to give her Haldol on top of that too? Okay. Yeah, but these side effects, if they're not caught, it can do irreversible damage. I mean, irreversible damage. They can end up like basically living like they have Parkinson's their whole life. So, I mean, as a parent, thank God just to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and wanting answers, and I just thank God I said, I'm not going to that fucking hospital. I'm done with Children's Hospital. They can kiss my ass. And even hospice wasn't helping me. Like, I'm calling hospice all day today. I'm texting her hospice nurse. I'm like, there's something wrong. And then I texted her, I said, I'm just taking her to the fucking ER. I'm just taking her to the ER. That's it. Oh, that might be a good idea. Thanks. Yeah, they make a child's heart rate reach dangerous levels. Yeah. And she already has a VSD heart murmur. So I'm like, oh, great. What the fuck? Am I supposed to, like, I don't have a machine to watch her heart rate. I know how to take her blood pressure, but I'm, oh my God, I cannot. So yeah, she's got, this drug, this drug, this drug. And now we're going to add this really powerful antipsychotic on her. And I'm like, but I'm scared. I'm just scared to give her that. But it would have been nice if they would have said, "Oh, this is what we're diagnosing her with." And but they did what the thing that I found that was good is I want to talk to her doctor before or somebody else before I start this Haldol on her. I'm gonna be calling somebody's ass tomorrow. I don't know. Um, I don't want to just give this Haldol to her because I'm like worried, like, what if this is making it worse? But they did actually talk to a psychiatrist. They wouldn't let me go up to the psych floor because that was just a real inappropriate place for Holly to be. Like, I didn't want to take her up to the psych floor at our ECMC girl. There were some characters there, even in the waiting room on the regular emergency floor. I can't imagine what was up in the psych ward. And she doesn't belong in a psych ward. So they were, talking with the doctor, with a psychiatrist. At least they were talking to a psychiatrist. It would have been nice if they would have brought the psychiatrist down to meet me so I could say, "Hey," but I can't. But the psychiatrist was the one that diagnosed her with what she's got going on. Oh, thank you, Joel. But it's so hard. I just don't understand, because she just can't tell us, and it just makes it breaks your heart because she's struggling and she's suffering and there's nothing you can do to help her. And then to be told, "You gotta continue this, this shit show," or oh god. I gotta continue the shit show of giving her these meds that are making her feel this way, because you can't just abruptly stop them. That could actually make her worse than what she is. So, I don't know what to do. Without the meds, she's not good with the meds, but I'm so glad to have the answer though. I mean, finally a real diagnosis, a real you hit the nail on the head because they hit the nail on the head. Thank you, Kimberly. But, as soon as I read and I was watching, I read up on everything on it and I sniffed on YouTube. Of course I did, and there were some really good videos made, and I was like, holy shit, that's her. But she just can't say it's her. So I'm just heartbroken that I got to continue giving her these meds and having her feel like this until she can see somebody to help her, you know? So it's like I don't know if there's I don't know how to feel about that. It's like, I can't make her not feel like she just wants to jump out of her own body. I can't stop that feeling. Nothing will be able to stop that feeling. The only thing that I am glad about is it's reversible and we can correct it, because it's not that far gone. So I can at least correct it and reverse it. It won't be permanent. So that's a plus. But the poor kid has not been able to sleep all day to literally get Ativan in an IV, and still she was still upset at having Ativan in her IV. It's like, that's some powerful ass shit, you know? Uh, yeah. I was just really upset the most because it's almost like I felt like hospice gave up. I'm like, I've been calling them for 3 days straight. I've been calling and calling and calling, and Clay took her to the doctor yesterday, and she's just like, "Oh, I wanna do a full body scan, maybe it's pain related." And I'm like, "Are you fucking schmucks? I cannot." It's like my child is not in pain, at least not physical pain, you know? But she just feels very uncomfortable, and the one thing I am glad about is this EPS, it does not it's not painful, it's just extremely uncomfortable. They described it as, like something taking over your body and you could do nothing to control it, and it's extremely uncomfortable. Oh, thank you, Connie. So, I don't know, I'm just gonna keep fighting and keep trooping, and keep doing what I gotta do. It just disgusts me that there's nobody to see her. Nobody wants to touch the kid that can't talk. It's like, I got nothing. If she was able to talk, oh, plenty of people would take her, but she can't talk. So it was like, nope, not touching. That's what is my biggest problem. Nobody wants to touch her because she can't talk. I swear, I'm like, there has to be somebody else in the world that has had this kind of dilemma before. But it's so hard, to have every doctor like, nope, not talking to her. All these psychiatrists, nope, not gonna touch her. She can't talk. Not gonna touch her. She can't talk. Not gonna touch her. She can't talk. Even out in Strong, at Strong Memorial, they will not touch her because she can't talk. I'm like I'm like in awe. I swear to God, I wanna go back to school and become a fucking psychologist to help people like in this. Tell them either they touch her or they won't talk. Yeah, right? That's what makes it so hard, No, not one psychiatrist. So I'm looking into private pay. I will pay somebody. I was talking to Dee earlier, and Dee did mention a few good things because I was, but Dee said, I know there's psychiatrists that goes out to group homes and stuff like that. I know there are. It's just I got to find them, and I if they don't accept my insurance, I don't give a shit. I will pay you $1,000 if you will just help my child. I'll go hook on the corner to get that money. I don't give a shit. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm gonna try, like, every psychiatrist in the city or in the state. I don't even care if I gotta drive to New York State, I will drive. There's gotta be somebody. Yeah. I know, that's what I'm saying. If I was like, if I lived in New York State, like, in New York City, I'm sure it would be easier. But because that's where all the good that's where all the good ones go, where the money is. That's where they all are. They are where the money is. Like in LA, New York City, California, they're in the higher. That's where they go because that's where all the money is. I think Chicago too is another one that they're at. Oh, I cannot. But I'm just like, how do you leave somebody stranded like that, you know? And like when I was talking to her nurse earlier, I'm like, the only thing that they were gonna do is just increase her methadone, and I'm like and he's like, "I'm sorry, I feel bad, there's nothing I can do," and I'm like, "All these people are just leaving us hanging." And it's like, you could like, they just leave you hanging, like, "Sorry." Like, wow, man. They offer you no the only thing they offer you is, "I'm sorry." That's it. That's all they offer you, is that "I'm sorry." "Oh, sorry." Like, "I'm sorry too." You know? Yeah. Yeah, and even a hospice, essential care, they left me hanging. He's just like, "Oh, sorry, that's all the doctor will do." I'm like, "Wow, so yours guys are telling me you're there 24/7 and you'll do anything, but when I call you, you say, 'Sorry.'" I'm like, "What the fuck?" Can you imagine? Call us anytime. Our number's 24/7. You call them, "Hey, we're in a sorry." I'm like, "Mother, pay me that money to tell me." Girl, you make all that money in the world to say, "Sorry." I mean, literally, is that what you do? Just looking at somebody say, "Sorry, we give up, can't help you." I gotta do a lot of research on that, Jen. I gotta research and see, where there be I know at Strong, they have geneticists, so I gotta take her to see a geneticist doctor. Hopefully, they'll take her, but that's really the only hope I have for right now is calling Strong Monday morning, and trying to get her into a geneticist to see if that could possibly help. And yeah, I'm a slob. I'm wiping my nose with my shirt. I don't give a shit. Jeffrey will be fine. I'm wearing Jeffrey today. Yeah, my guess is if you can find the right one, the nonverbal would not be an issue. Yeah, because there are so many Down syndromes that are nonverbal. Like, yeah, you'll see the ones like on TV and stuff, but for the most part, like the majority of Down syndrome are nonverbal. But right now, the only thing I gotta let her, suffer for the weekend. I mean, she has to suffer for the weekend. So, what's the matter?
Yes. Hello. Updates, updates, updates.
So, Thank yous all for being here, watching me cry like a babbling baby. Hi, Shitty. But yeah, that's gonna be my next step. I mean, well, this weekend, tomorrow I'm working. I'm gonna do all the research online that I can, trying to find doctors, see what city they're in. I mean, if I have to fly her somewhere, I'll fly her somewhere. But then you run into the problem, Jen, of most of the time they can't write prescriptions for out of the state. Like they can see her, but we have like New York State insurance. So I don't know how that works. Oh, thank you. But yeah, like I don't know. I can research as much as I can, find doctors. Like I said, I think Chicago has some good ones because if she needed any kind of heart surgery, she would have to go to Chicago. So I don't know. I just can't believe people are like, sorry, sorry. Yeah. If she was just verbal, it would be easier. Or, able to like Billy is not verbal, but he can understand and communicate sort of. Yeah, they can wipe your ass with that. Sorry, that's how I feel. I mean, I think the most thing that really let me down because I was crying all day. I'm like, because the hospice was just like, sorry. And her doctor, we took her yesterday, and it's like, oh, there's nothing we can do. And yeah, you get so many people saying, there's nothing I can do. It's like, I don't understand. And then they don't point you in any direction. They point you in absolutely no direction. Like, not sorry, I can't help you, but this person can, or this place can, or that place can. No, just I'm sorry, and I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Like, I was just crushed. I'm like, so I'm watching my daughter cry all day. All day. She has been crying since 8 o'clock this morning. The poor child is probably exhausted as hell. Clay's in there laying with her right now to hopefully try to help her fall asleep. Yeah, that's exactly. They send you on to Google. Absolutely. Yeah, they give you like it wasn't so much of the sorry, but sorry, and that's it. Like, there's nothing. Like, I've never experienced that ever in my life. "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you, and I'm also not going to give you any kind of resource or information of anything that could possibly help you." No, it's just sorry. I don't get that at all. I don't get it. But I am thankful for ECMC for actually diagnosing her. I wish I could have talked to the psychiatrist. They don't wanna be held accountable for giving you wrong answer. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, next, yeah. But even to point somebody in a direction of where they could possibly get help. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Lily. Yeah. It's like, they just wanna wash their hands of it. They're like, "Well, we tried to help you, but we can't. Sorry." Like, at least give me a direction. Like, I follow directions real fucking easy. You point and I'll go. Yeah, and that's what that's why today I was just like, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I'm calling hospice, I called her doctor, I'm like, "She's crying, something's wrong." Like she's just like all like I'm like, "There's nothing I could do." Yeah, and if they don't know what to do, I can respect that. I can understand it. Just point me in the direction of somebody that can help. Yeah, that's all I'm asking for, Terry, is that I'm just asking for some direction. Point me somewhere. Like, give me an option, give me something. Like I said, I'll fly her to Taiwan. I'll hook on the corner to get the money. I don't give a shit. Hi, weird. And just for her doctor to be like, "Well, I don't wanna treat her with anything. I want her to have a full body scan and dental X-rays." And even when I was at ECF saying this was great, because even even the doctor kinda criticized that. He's like, "What are we gonna do with a full body span? That's looking like for a needle in a haystack." Since when did medical professionals not give referrals? Yeah. The only thing that I got a referral for that I gotta call Monday is at Strong, they have a geneticist. Yeah, weird. She was saying, "Well, I wanna make sure that this isn't pain related." It's not. And I was on she already had a full MRI, she's already had X-rays when all this started where it's like, I know she's not in pain because let me tell you something, like I said yesterday on my live, when you're in pain, Ativan does not help you. It's like, that's fucking common sense. I don't even know if the insurance because she has, Clay's insurance, Blue Cross Blue well, she has Medicaid, but she doesn't have full Medicaid. She's mostly underneath our insurance, my husband's insurance, because 'cause he's got the bomb ass insurance, love his insurance. Mostly on his insurance, and Medicaid only kicks up certain things. My husband's insurance, I don't know when they changed the Medicaid shit, though. I gotta tell you that right now because Medicaid used to be the gold card. Oh, it's not. Because there's a lot of prescriptions that we have had to get for Holly that Medicaid does not even cover. And they're psychiatric drugs. Like these are things that people need. And you know, mostly people get Medicaid if they don't have any money. The only reason why Holly has Medicaid is because she's disabled, and she gets it through the SSI system because she's 18, so she's entitled to the SSI. I don't give a shit about the money. I just you was worried like, hey, get the medical insurance, because Medicaid's supposed to be better. Shit, no, my husband's Blue Cross Blue Shield covers way more than Medicaid does. Hi, Allison. But yeah, and this doctor's like, if we do a full body scan, what are we looking for? I said, I don't know. He goes, so we're looking for a needle in a haystack? I said, I guess. He said, even the doctors, even the ER doctor said that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I said, I was on the same, I'm on the same page. I don't know. Does New York have kids care? They got like that Fidelis, but she's already got double health coverage. She's got the Medicaid, and like I said, my husband, she'll have my husband's until she's 26, and his insurance is way better than Medicaid. Yeah, but there's things shitty that Medicaid won't pick up and pay for. Like some of her meds, Medicaid won't pay for them. Even Tamiflu. They gave her Tamiflu when she had the flu, and Medicaid would not pay for Tamiflu. I'm like, "Bitch, are you serious? Like, you're not gonna" I cannot. But Clay's insurance covered it. We just had a $20 copay, which is fine. I'll pay the $20. I don't give a shit. But yeah, right now, basically, my weekend is going to be spent. I'm only working 7 to 11 tomorrow morning, and then I go back 3 to 11. And Sunday, I'm only 3 to 11. So I'm going to be spending my time doing research and trying to find, what I can find in the area. I'm going to look at Clay's pulling up his Blue Cross Blue Shield and looking at psychiatrists and his network, and we're gonna call every single freaking one of them. Will you see her? So it's gonna be like a whole shit ton of and I'm off Tuesday. I just I think the part that breaks my heart the worst is that inside she is so uncomfortable. But and then I sit there and I stop and I think to myself, and I'm like, if I wasn't who I was, okay, like I'm in the medical field, I know stuff and everything, but if I was, just one of the parents that just didn't know or whatever, just accepted whatever, some child, and I'm sure it's happened, some child has had to suffer with this with no help. And that breaks my heart the worst because some parents wouldn't know any better what to do. They wouldn't know, like, where to go, what to do, or just, like, say, "Fuck you, I gotta go over your head and find somebody else." Let's be real, some people just aren't that, like that, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, some child deep down is suffering with something like this with no help. Yeah, I am, I'm in Buffalo. In general, well, Holly actually likes, she loves lights and music, and that's why, like, I fixed up her room a little bit because I got her the lights that I had, like, the fluorescent lights and stuff, and she's got music. Yeah, absolutely shitty. It's like it's ridiculous. Medicaid won't cover management. They would but they'll have to cover, all the shit, all the it drives me crazy. So they will cover management, but they'll have to pay all the big ass hospital bills for when you end up in the hospital. The Medicaid system is so backwards, it's hilarious. But I at least thank God that she's her primary insurance is Clay's. But I just know somewhere some kid is suffering and nobody knows why. It really just breaks my heart that all this time, like, I'm giving her something that's making her, and you feel guilty, even though I've been like saying to these, I don't know what, I need help, I need something, this isn't working, that's not working. And I think I'm just really upset right now because I got to continue giving her this shit. It's just so hard. But yeah, so that's why, like, it keeps increasing and increasing and increasing, and she keeps getting worse and worse because the higher the meds go, the worse it's affecting her. I think the best thing for me, or at least the best thing that I could say for myself, is that when we upped, and I'm pretty sure the Depakote is the culprit. I'm pretty sure because that's the one drug when they tried to increase it. When I gave it to her, she really got agitated. I'm like, oh no, this is not working. And I think if I had not noticed that and just said, "Hey, she needs more, she needs more, she needs more," I think, that might have put her into the category where she was, like, maybe getting to irreversible damage, you know? And it comes to having like, you gotta be extremely observant, like, you do. You have to be that person that, is very observant. With Holly, I've always been, like, extremely observant, like, you just gotta know. I'm like that with all my kids, to be honest. But, if I had not noticed that, that Depakote made her really worse and something else was going on, and, you know, I'm just thankful right now for the doctor at ECMC. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Yeah, he was aggressive on the Depakote, yeah. But the thing is, Joel, the thing that, like I said, and that's why it explains so much though, now that I look at it, because even when I'm talking to hospice, he didn't understand. Like they can't figure it out. Like she gets on these meds and she levels off, and like she's blowing through meds, and they're like, they can't figure out why. And the thing is they are helping, but now she's having a reaction to it, and that's why. That's why she was good for so long, and then she hit the shitter because she's having a reaction to the meds. So the whole thing makes perfect sense. Like she needs something to help her, psychiatrically, but she just needs something different than what she's on right now. And so like I say, I gotta find like who goes out to like the group homes because I know they have like doctors that go out to like the group homes and they have psychiatrists. I know they have to. And the bigger the dose, it was the opposite effect. Yeah. That's why I said when I gave her that 7.5 of the Depakote, holy shit, that really she was like, "Oh," she got very nasty, and Holly's not nasty, But yeah, she did leave with Haldol, but I'm like, now that I read everything up on it, I'm like, "Oh, Haldol is a naughty one too," and I'm just afraid to give that to her. I would rather talk to, like, a professional that knows this condition to see if that'll make it any worse. 'Cause I know they gave her the Seroquel in the hospital, and she was still agitated after getting IV Ativan, so I'm like, "Was it the Seroquel that did that to her?" I don't know. I'm afraid to give her anything at this point, just to be able to take her outside, just to take her for take her anywhere. You can't take her anywhere because she gets so upset. I'll never I swear, I should just go back to school and be a psychiatrist just to help people like her. That's after I get one for my damn self, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, it is hard. It is. You sit there and gotta Google everything. People say don't use Google to diagnose yourself, but damn, when you're left to Google when, people tell you, sorry, well, Google's your friend. Uh, Good night, Terrence. I don't know, I'm just so like genuinely upset. Too many docs think with the cookie cutter medicine. Yeah. Like I said, the main thing that bothers me is nobody's setting me in the right direction. Nobody's giving a shit. Oh, thanks, Jen. I will totally look at that. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, at least Google tells you shit, unlike some doctors. The most disappointing again is them just not offering to point me in any direction. Like they leave you hanging. Like you know? Well, I'm not increasing any of the doses, but they were very specific when I was all the research that I've done on this between Google sites and a WebMD and even YouTube, which is I love YouTube for that. But all even on the discharge paperwork, all of it says do not stop any medications. And the reason why is because it can make this condition even worse. Because then she'll be going through withdrawal and then she's going to have to be dealing with that and this on top of it. So, what they kind of like to try to do is find a different drug. They need to find the culprit, which drug it is. That's what they need. They need to find the culprit, which drug is doing this to her, and they're going to need to change her meds. But if you just completely just stop giving the meds, that's even worse. And it can make, it's like a crash and burn. You almost got to treat it like if someone like going through a drug withdrawal. It's the same thing, it can be a very serious condition. So I don't want to mess with that at all. I do not want to make her any more uncomfortable or in any more pain or anything than she already is. Like, we haven't added anything new. The only thing that we've done is raised her. The only thing that's been raised is the Atarax. So, I mean, that she only gets at nighttime and she's on 20 and that's easy to, gradually reduce down like to 15, then to 10 and whatever. That's the only drug that's been new. I live in Buffalo, Jen. That's right. I actually live in Buffalo, New York. I live right in Kaisertown. I already have a journal. I do. I already have a journal of what days, like, I write if she needed PRNs or she needed this, I already have that journal going. Hi. What happened?
Nothing. She's,
She antsy?
yeah.
Hi.
With the Xanax, she's antsy.
Okay, thank you, Jen. Oh, they'll treat up to 21? Awesome. Thank you, Jen. But yeah, and she's so restless. Like, she can't even sleep. And let's see, she's had Xanax and Ativan, and she's restless. But she's not crying right now, and I'm thankful for that, but she can't sleep. She's just, doing all of this. At least I know now exactly what's wrong, what's causing it, and I don't know how to fix it. I just need to find a doctor that knows how to properly fix this. That's all I want is to have her, I just feel because when you see the documentaries or you see the footage that they have of real people that are experiencing this, and they say they would rather deal with their psychiatric problem than feel how that they feel with the EPS is just mind blowing. Like, to know that it's that uncomfortable. It's not painful, but it's extremely uncomfortable to know that people would rather deal with their psychosis than to deal with those side effects. It that really took me aback. Oh, that would be great, weird. I would love that. And this journey has been since like
October.
October. Everything came to a head in October, and it's just been like we've been through some good, some bad, some good, some bad, and now we hit really, really bad. So I'm just hoping. That's all we can do is just hope. At least right now she's like just distracting her was nice. Okay, weird. But yeah, and even like the ER doc when he was talking about like her doctor wanted to go through pain. It's like no, because she's distractible. Like you know when somebody's in pain, but you can see the sheer restlessness on her. You can, and actually, I remember when she first started. Which med did she first start that we had to take her up to Children's because I seen that she was so like she was in panic mode. Was that the Depakote?
Um, we had
I can't. No, I think that was the Glyphosate, right?
Glyphosate. And the weird part, sometimes the Glyphosate was like a car reactor keeper time.
Yeah, she was on the Glyphosate, but that tanked her heart rate too low. That's the thing with her is she's so tiny. Could you just imagine being like 4'11", 80 pounds, or 4'10" and 80 pounds? No, what is she 4'2"? I'm sorry, no, she's 4'2". She's 4'2" and 80 pounds and getting like really heavy sedative drugs and just it not phasing her. That's how restless she is. That is how like unsettled she is. That she gets all this stuff and it doesn't even calm her. Oh, you want to take that little thing off her leg, honey? Thank you. That's just Holly singing. She's saying hello to you guys. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just hoping one day this all. I just want answers like yesterday. And I hate that I have to give her these meds. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, you're saying hi. Yeah, she's even like her eyes are getting really like big. I don't like to use this her, but you know how you get like the big bug eyes. You know, she's got the big buggy eyes right now. I don't know. I hope the little one can sleep. I just hope she's able to get some rest. That's just what I need is her to get some rest. Right? All right, guys, but I'm gonna go bounce off. I'm gonna try to lay down with her and see if she'll settle for me because she's a little angry, or maybe I'll get her a nice bath. Seemed to have helped her, so I'm gonna go give her a nice little bath again and see if that'll help her feel better. I will talk to you guys soon, and thank you guys all for your support. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Bye.